been naming to do that.
Oh God, you're crap at this.
Anyway, hey up, Sofa Squad, and welcome to a special edition of On the Sofa. And we're doing a special edition to have a good old talk about last night's shit show. I mean, debate.
We are without a doubt the most qualified people to do so.
This is true because we're all American. You can tell by our accents, can't you?
Yeah.
I'm in Florida.
Yeehaw!
Mm-hmm.
And I'm in Chicago.
Y'all.
So, well, what have you seen? Have you seen it, Stall? Did you see the debate?
I'll tell you what I did. I thought I'd watched it last night, but it turns out that I only watched half of it. So I've just watched the last half of it, not too many minutes ago. You see, so unlike you, I'm prepared. Y'all.
So in your opinion, who won?
I think we all know the answer to that. So that's it for this evening.
And good night, everyone. But what about your Dave? Your Dave.
You're Dave. No, I'm Dave. I'm Dave from Florida, y'all.
How about you? How about you, Dave? What did you think of the debate?
I thought the debate was very interesting. I thought that Biden came across as actually presidential. I think Trump came across as a raving lunatic.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that Trump was talking, Biden looked down, and he looked like he was ashamed. I don't think he was. I'm assuming this is why they call him sleepy. But it doesn't look good. The optics on that doesn't look good.
No.
But I think he performed better. I think Trump spent the entire thing trying to rattle him, and he pretty much didn't manage it.
No, he kept his calm. I said yesterday or last night, before I lost my webcam, that I thought Biden looked pretty. I've never heard him speak for so long before. I've only ever seen little snippets of him, and I thought he seemed pretty good.
Mm.
He seemed like an adult.
Yes.
Yes.
Who was the moderator?
Chris Wallace.
Is he? Oh,
Oh dear!
There's that noise again. I told you I wasn't imagining it earlier. It's Scientism Mel with a noise.
Is your mic dying, Mel?
No, it's not.
Because earlier on, your sound kept going up and down, up and in a very odd way.
I can adjust the gain on it.
No, well, it was fine just then.
Okay, like right now?
Yeah, totally fine.
Okay.
I'm still hearing that noise now.
Are you?
from earlier, yeah.
Hey, I'm just going to be honest, Stool. I have hypnotized you. I've conditioned you to hear a particular sound anytime I'm present.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've done that.
I'm from Florida, by the way. My name's Dave. Y'all.
So, welcome a true American scientist, Mel, to the chat, to the discussion.
He's called Christopher Wallace, and he's a Fox News host, presenter type person.
So he's someone that's paid to support Trump. So if he was going to be biased, it would be towards Trump. I'm not saying he was.
No, I don't think he was. But Chris Wallace is actually one of the more sane people on Fox News.
That's like saying one of the sanest inmates in a madhouse.
Yeah, but he does. He's not like the other arse lickers. He will criticise Trump on Fox News.
He did criticise him there. I thought some of his digs were better than anyone else's.
Oh yeah, He'd do very well on a grown-up news channel. It's a shame he's on Fox.
Grown-up news channel.
Yeah.
Fox News is crazy. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah, and we're getting our own version of it.
Yeah. I want to know if
the Sun and the Daily Mail. That's pretty bad.
I want to know if Fox is going to abandon him before the polls are called.
I don't know. I don't know what that was. I watched like the last 30-45 minutes, I think, of the debate, and I was crying with laughter through most of it. If I'm honest, I'm like, this isn't a debate. This is I don't know what this is, but it's wildly entertaining. And Biden did a lot better than I thought he would.
Yeah.
He was like the dad in the room, and toddler Trump was like, ah, and he's like, would you just shut up, man?
Yes. Yeah, that was the quote of the evening, I thought.
It's just like, it was like he was his daddy. I was like, this is amazing. And then you get asshats like David Silverman going, I watched the debate last night and I'm still undecided. Kill me. And I'm like, what? Really? You watched the debate and you still don't know if you should vote, for Trump or not.
Come on.
It's quite baffling, isn't it?
Ben Shapiro tweeted this morning.
The racist kazoo.
He said, he said, I'm not sure who won, but I do know that America lost.
Yeah.
I think here's the problem. People, if they're expecting a proper debate, if that's what people are like, oh, we're going to see this amazing proper debate with two politicians talking about the issues, that was never going to happen. I don't know why anybody thought that was ever going to happen. It was going to be who can shut up Trump to be able to say like 3 sentences in a row. That's what it was going to be. I don't know why anybody was expecting, oh, here's two gentlemen doing, a moderated debate where they're taking turns talking. That was never going to happen. So it's just, I don't know why people are like, oh, well, this debate was terrible. I'm like, well, it's going to be, somebody's going to have to put Trump in his place. That's what needed to happen last night.
Can they mute his mic next time?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, why didn't they just do that and say, Trump, is not your turn, mute. Okay, Biden, keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was.
But even when I couldn't believe it when they had the 2 minutes. Trump had his 2 minutes, then Biden had his 2 minutes, and then Trump literally demands to respond, and then ignores when he's told no and carries on talking.
You're not the boss of me. It's just like, you're not my mama. That's what I was saying like the whole time.
He's had a lifetime of people not telling him to shut the fuck up. He's not used to it.
No.
That's not what I hear from the people of New York. I've heard numerous people from New York saying when they see him on the street, they tell him to fuck off.
Yeah, they're not very fond of him.
Have you guys watched? Okay, there's a show that's on, and I don't know if you guys get it over there. It's called The Comey Rule, Comey, like James Comey, former head of the FBI.
Oh, you tweeted about that earlier.
It is amazing. Congress has called him back in, and he was called in to testify for Congress today about Russia's interference and stuff. But that show, oh my God, because Comey was like reopening investigations into Hillary's emails and all that stuff, and they had come up with new evidence that the Trump camp had managed to get. And they brought it over to the FBI saying, hey, here's some more of those emails. And since it was new evidence, they had to reopen the investigation. And so he had already told Congress and everybody that there was nothing there and they were closing the investigation. And he came out publicly and said that in a news conference, which is not done. They don't ever do that in the FBI.
He did a bad thing.
Since he did that, he was like, okay, there's no evidence here. And then they came up with new evidence. And then he said, okay, well, I've told Congress that we've closed the investigation. We have new evidence now. I'm fucked. Do I not have a press conference? Or do I not tell Congress? And the whole time, like, oh God, what's his name? Former mayor of New York. I hate him. Rudy Giuliani was getting leaked information from the FBI. And he was one step ahead. And so it's just, it was crazy. And because he did that, that contributed to the, it swayed the election.
Yeah,
And
that
so-
was not good.
And
Not
it
good.
gets into that. It's amazing.
I've seen a little clip of it. Oh God, I can't remember who the guy is who plays Trump in it.
Oh God, he's good, isn't he?
He's a famous actor, and I can't remember his name. Yeah, and the actual Trump character in this thing that you're talking about doesn't feature very much in it, does he?
He does a bit. So the first episode is about the investigation into the emails. James Comey comes in under Barack Obama. Obama hires him. And the actor who plays Obama is great. He nails it. He just got the right dialect, and he's speaking properly in the way that Obama does, his own character. It's fantastic. And then when Comey is like, okay, he has to start investigating. Obama is still in office. And so they're like navigating, well, it's an election year. Do we hide this from the American public? Do we talk
Just
about it?
for the benefit of our British viewers and listeners, it will be airing on Sky Atlantic if it hasn't already started. So if you're posh and have Sky Atlantic, you can watch it there.
It's great. It's really good. You guys need to check it out. I watched the second episode during the first part of the debate, because I was like, I don't know if I can get through that. But the second episode gets into when Trump wins the election and he comes into the White House and all of the changes that he does and the things that he says. It's just like,
The little clips I've seen of it, it does look very interesting. It's definitely something I would watch, but I haven't got it. Y'all.
It's okay, Mr. Whippy Scarf. Yes, my cup is big, doorknob head.
Yeah.
It's
Hang
for
on
the
a minute.
polar pop. It's like, it's supposed to say polar pop,
Whoa. Hang on a minute. It's the wrong day. It's Wednesday. We can't play What's in Your Goblet Mel today. I think we do that on Thursdays. Or is it Friday? Who knows?
Friday.
Who knows?
It's my polar pop. Yeah. It's from Circle K. That's a good Bill and Ted reference. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Exactly. But let's be honest, it was a shit show.
I must have been watching something else because Trump was Trump. He just did a Trump. He does what he does. But I thought it was actually quite good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It was entertaining.
Yes,
It wasn't meant to be entertaining. It was meant to be a presidential debate.
I said last night that I thought Biden did really well, and I got shouted at for saying that because apparently you're not allowed to say that in America. I don't know why, but there you go.
It wasn't really a debate so much as a shouting match.
Yeah.
Who is it that argues in the first 2 minutes about the format that's been agreed, obviously, weeks in advance by his team?
Yeah.
Trump turns around, so I'm debating you now.
Yeah. He talked all over the moderator. He talked all over Biden. It was embarrassing.
Donald
He
Trump-
was embarrassing. How many times did he mention Hillary? Seriously,
Yeah.
4 years later, just shut the fuck up about her.
Oh, I've got to say, my favorite tweet in the last week is, so above everything else, Obama is richer than him. I just think that's just a great fuck you to Trump.
Yeah.
I'm richer than Trump. It's like, and I got a student loan that's more than my mortgage. But that's like the only debt I have.
You know his daughter wife,
Ivanka.
it's made of plastic. What's her name?
Ivanka.
Oh, Ivanka. Yo. So she wrote a book many years ago.
Did
I
she?
think somebody else wrote it.
I was going to say,
Well,
yeah. I'd like proof that anyone in that family has written a book.
I'm using a bit of artistic license with the word "right," but a book was published, which apparently were her words that she uttered, and she was telling the story about when he lost all the money that he never had in the first place, and he was like in debt to the tune of about 10 billion with a B. And outside Trump Tower, there was a homeless guy sat on the ground. And according to the Ivanka person, her dad said to her, "That guy has got $10 billion more than I have." He was literally penniless until the Apprentice thing came around, and then he started making money back again.
He's a terrible businessman.
He's the shittest businessman ever, and I'm really annoyed that more people are not talking about the tax thing.
We all knew it already.
We all knew it. We knew it, but now we've got the receipts, as we say here in Florida. So you've got to watch that thing that I watched on YouTube yesterday, and I can't remember his name. Divine somebody.
Divine Disbelief.
That's the guy, yeah. And he's talking to the guy who's an expert on financial matters. Like, he's got a fancy certificate and everything. Like Scientism Mel has got a science certificate. He's got a money certificate. He knows what he's talking about. And it goes on for about... You'll think, I'm not watching that because it's on for 2.5 hours. And I watched the whole damn thing, and it's very, very interesting. For anybody who's not yet knowledgeable about the fact that Trump is a lying shit businessman and always has been all his life, watch that fucker. And we've all known it, but they explain things in a easy to digest way.
Right.
Very good.
That's cool. I think they've been on my channel before, Divine Disbelief, the people who do that show. They've been on my channel.
Yes, Susan and Nathaniel.
Yep. We were on an episode of This Week in BS. I had Dr. Leah Torres on there along with Nate Brody. And we were talking about the new, because Susan is an activist for women's reproductive rights. And so they were on with Dr. Leah Torres, who's an OBGYN, and then Nate was on talking about the law aspect of Roe v. Wade, because when Brett Kavanaugh got on, we all panicked. And now we have a new horrible person. That's a lady.
Yeah, never trust somebody who drinks beer through the bottom. That's just not right.
What?
I like beer.
He
drinks beer through his bottom, did you say?
Yeah.
Butt chugging.
You did not know this. It was quite a well-known thing.
My ability to remember things like that are limited.
I can't remember what the term is for that particular hobby.
Chugging.
No. There's another word for it, but I don't know what it is.
Well, we call it butt chugging in the U.S. You can put alcohol up your butthole and you get drunk faster.
Does it work?
Oh.
Yeah, it does, because it's got nothing but mucosal membranes, and so, it absorbs your colon absorbs more of that faster.
So how much quicker does it get you drunk?
I don't do that because I'm not stupid. I don't want any of that. That's a terrible, terrible idea. Don't put whiskey in your butt. Beer is a low alcohol percentage. But vodka or whiskey or any hard liquor with high, that's a great way to get in the hospital.
Yes.
I need a fellow American, because I'm from Florida, to remind me of that word, because it's not the one that Scientism Mel just used. It's something else.
Ah,
It's got a kind of young, hip, slangy type name for it, but
I see.
I don't remember what it is.
Anyway, one thing
But Mike,
that,
we're talking about interesting things now. Don't do this.
but Trump
Don't
is
do
such a
vodka tampon spooky. Don't do that.
Trump. We all know he's a toddler, but he showed
What?
it to full effect
Boofing.
last night.
Boofing, that's the one.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Sorry.
I love how you shouted that there. Thank you.
And because, but Biden brought up the 200. He said 200,000 people have died on your watch, and Trump was like, "Oh well, if you had been in charge, it'd be 2 million people."
Oh, what? That just no.
It was pathetic.
It's
I just saw one of his tweets, the orange shit given just before I came here, and he's getting shouty. You know how he does those tweets where he just types "law and order" in capital letters,
Yeah.
and everyone replies with "Cagney and Lacey" and all this shit because
Yeah.
He's
He just tweeted.
chips.
yeah.
Highest
Oh,
cable television rating of
NYPD
all time.
Blue.
Starsky and Hutch.
He's boasting about the ratings of the debate.
He got upset because, according to him, Biden refused to say the words "law and order,"
Yeah,
which is complete bullshit, of course, because he did.
he did. Yeah.
So he's lying about something yet again that we all watched.
Yeah.
I mean, what is wrong with the fucker? He's not normal
Oh
at all.
God. The show that I was talking about, the Comey Rule, he gets into. I mean, it's not like this is spoilers or anything, guys. Well, that would happen. It's like I don't want to spoil the Alamo for you guys, but it ends pretty tragically. So does Titanic. So, but I mean, we already know it happened.
How does Titanic end?
Oh gosh, it just she could have let Jack on the frickin' raft. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway,
Jack,
Guys,
Jack,
so,
Jack.
but it's like they get into that dossier, the Russian dossier that comes out where he had prostitutes peeing on him in Obama and Michelle's bed that they slept in one time, and he's just sitting there and he goes, "I don't need prostitutes." It's just like it, and he's like, does it look like I need prostitutes?" I'm like, that's what upset you. And he goes, and I don't want Melania to hear about this. Can you imagine how upset she'll be? And it's just like, he looks like a horrible human. I mean, one point he's having dinner with Comey, and he's like, he's looking at Comey and goes, "How do you cope with all this stuff about the news and everything? You're really taking it on the chin." And he goes, I go to my family and I spend time with them, just much like you. And he just looks at him. Like, he has no idea what that means. He doesn't know what it means to spend time with people that care about him. So
if you
care about him?
If you haven't already done so, I forget her name. His niece, who wrote the book,
Mary Trump.
Mary Trump. Yeah, I stumbled upon an audio version of it on YouTube. Yeah, I'm not naughty. I literally did stumble upon it. I guess it would have been taken down now, but somebody had just done a text to speech on it, so it was whoever he's called on Windows reading this book with a male voice, which I guess you can do without getting in trouble. But that does a really good job of explaining, if you haven't been paying attention, just why his brain is so fucked up, Trump. Because she explains things from like years ago when she was a kid and how his dad was such I think his dad basically broke Donald Trump. He broke Donald Trump's brain
Yeah.
and turned him into what we're all used to seeing.
Golly. His dad was part of the KKK.
His dad was he lost his marbles towards the end. He went really dementia type bad. He was doing strange things, very strange things, which I'm not laughing at because that can happen to people, but
Yeah.
you can see why Donald Trump turned out the way that he did, because his dad was pretty shit.
Yeah. His mom, I swear his mom looks like a woman version of Trump.
Yeah.
With the hair, if he put makeup on him and put like a bouffant on his head, that would be like his mom.
She was also crazy. She used to drive around. I think she had either a Rolls Royce or something expensive and flashy. I think it might have been pink. And one of their little parts of their business, she would drive around to the, what do you call them in America? Laundromats. Is that the word?
Yes, laundromats.
She would drive around to all these properties that they owned and empty all the coins out of these machines, like as if she needed coins because they were very wealthy, and she would hoard all these coins in her house.
I don't know anything about hoarding.
No, it looks very Spartan in that room.
This isn't.
Oh,
I don't know anything about hoarding. No.
Oh, by the way, for those who just heard that noise, Scientism and Mel told me earlier, it's a dog.
That is a dog. That's not a guy dressed in a suit crawling around on the floor. That is a dog.
is that Frodo?
That is Frodo. Yeah.
Oh,
There you
Yeah.
go. Hey, Frodo.
Just like,
Can't
did
hear you.
Frodo play a dog in a suit? A man in a dog suit.
Oh man, there was that show where Elijah Wood had the dog. The dog would talk to him. It was like a human, so it was pretty cool. I forget what that was called. Frodo right now is telling y'all to go, F yourself.
charming.
I know.
I
I think it means the cat outside, but
The only thing that was missing from, see what I'm doing here? I'm bringing this back on topic. The only thing that was missing from last night's debate thing, Biden is a normal person. And when you put a normal person against Donald Trump, the normal person uses normal people rules,
yes.
normal person rules. They try not to go, Nina, you're a big fatty Sally, which is what Trump does.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that can come across to the Trumpy type people as being weak.
Mhm.
Yes, that's the concern, I think.
Because they've now become so accustomed to watching the orange shit given just act like a 4-year-old constantly.
Well, I think Biden put him in his place a couple times.
I got annoyed though because Trump was telling his lies about mail-in voting being fraudulent and all that crap.
Yes.
And Biden, you could just about hear him say, that's nonsense, there's no evidence of this whatsoever. But he wasn't loud enough.
No.
You need somebody to say to Trump loudly, that is a fucking lie.
Yeah.
Because these
like
horrible,
Twitter do.
horrible people that live in Mel Street need to hear these words because
Yeah.
they need somebody with a brain to say very loudly, that is a lie, here's why, here's the evidence why it's a lie.
Man,
Yeah.
I would love to have a protest on my street. Just have people with megaphones. Are you voting for Trump? You want to know why you're stupid?
Yeah.
And just be like,
I didn't see his debates with Hillary.
Oh my gosh,
What were they like? Were they as bad?
terrifying.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
and more creepy.
And very creepy. Yeah.
he gets really weird around women. If Elizabeth, and this is where I'm like, go back to if Elizabeth Warren had been opposite Trump, she would have just gone off on him,
Yeah.
which would have been awesome. But then everybody
Yeah.
been like, is she on her period? She's so emotional. You know, it's just women are not allowed to do that without us being pegged as bossy or hot-headed or too emotional. And he would have pulled every sexist thing in the playbook. And right now, given that people would rather have a misogynistic, racist, bigoted, horrible human, fascist in office because he's a guy rather than a woman, but her emails, it just, come on, man.
If you haven't seen clips of the debates with Hillary, right, Dave's right. It was creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Because they weren't stood in one position; they were allowed to walk around on the stage.
Right.
And he was following her, like
Right.
about 1 foot behind her,
He was
like some
always
kind of
behind her, like a shadow, breathing on her.
he was doing a really creepy, dirty old man thing. He was following the woman around. It was bizarre, very bizarre.
Yeah, I agree. It was really just.
And that's also the first time that we noticed that he had a bit of a sniffing problem.
Yeah.
You know how he always sniffs? That was the
Yeah.
first time we heard this, and he complained afterwards and said that they'd given him a faulty microphone on purpose. he actually said that.
And then he was talking about my election last time. They were, you know, it was so messed up, you know, and then all of these people were saying these things. And I'm just like, God, you are always a freaking victim all the time.
It's always somebody else's fault with Trump.
Yep.
Yep, exactly. Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it. Everybody says I'm smart. All these smart people agree with me. And, you know, so-and-so says this. And so I listen to what he says because, you know, he agrees with me and just want to put my head through the wall. Everything.
If you can cast it, unfortunately, on a lot of things, my memory's shit. But on this, I remember most things because in the lead up to the 2016 thing, I was watching and paying close attention to what the fuck was going on because I clocked on early that there was a thing happening. You know, we talked about Cambridge Analytica earlier. There was something happening, and I didn't know what the hell it was. So I literally watched non-stop everything that was happening during that election process because it baffled me. I didn't understand how this was happening at all. So if you can cast your mind back that far, one of the first things he did when he got the office in February, is it February when they do it? He set up that, he spent pretty much the whole time bitching about Hillary Clinton, even though he'd won. Mm-hmm. He did not shut up bitching about her, and they set up that commission, didn't they? Because he was convinced, well, he wasn't convinced, somebody put the idea into his head that 3 million, as in how few votes he got by the public,
right?
That 3 million, quote, illegals had been seen going voting for Hillary Clinton. And I mean, that's just crazy to even think could ever be a real thing. I mean, you've got to be dumb to believe that. But he wasted a lot of your tax money, Sciences and Mel, by setting up a fucking commission to look into this.
Yeah, he did that. He also wastes a lot of our tax money. He says he doesn't take a salary for being president, but he goes to his own golf courses and golfs, and we pay for that. And that goes straight in his pocket.
Seriously, watch that thing that I mentioned earlier. It's not going to tell you anything new, but it really does make it palatable, if you know what I mean.
He's a hot. I just can't. I didn't think I'd be able to watch the debate because I hate him so much. I've been getting a lot of flack on Twitter because I've been telling people, please just vote for Biden. Don't vote third party. Please don't vote third party. And people are like, you're shaming me. I'm not shaming you. I'm saying I get why. I don't like saying that. I don't like the situation that we're in. I don't like any of it. But since 1860, third party groups have nobody's won the presidency.
Sometimes you've got to hold your nose and do something that you don't want to do, but for the bigger good, you've got to do it.
If he stays, if he gets voted in again, he needs to go because he has pending charges on him. I think
this is what I keep saying.
And they're like, well, you know, there's nobody good to vote for. You know what? Get over it. We are dealing with somebody who's a Hitler wannabe.
This is the important thing.
Horrible person. And, you know,
the
Biden's not
thing that I keep trying to say is that he knows damn well that as soon as he's out of office,
he's getting indicted.
The New York people,
Yeah.
He's in prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah, probably. Or, you know, they might go the way of Epstein since he owes so many countries so much money. You know, how much money does he owe Russia? How much money does he owe China?
But
they've got so much dirt on him that if he's charged under whatever rule it is, you remember Al Capone? Yeah, okay, taxes. That's how they get them. Whatever rule, whatever law it is, I forget what you call it. But if he is charged under this law, it's not fraud. You've got another
fraud.
thing.
It's been that's what Al Capone was on, is tax fraud.
Oh yeah, that was tax fraud. But there's another thing about Trump, and I can't remember what you guys call it. But if he's charged under this law, he will not only have to go to prison, he'll also have to repay with interest the money that he's stolen from people.
Yeah.
You know, all the money that he's
I forget the
robbed.
scale that he has stolen from people.
Yeah. And what about this thing that he kept accusing Biden's son Hunter of receiving so much money from China and Moscow?
That's not even a thing.
No,
it's not a thing. It's just more made up bollocks.
It is made up. And yeah, one of Biden's sons had a drug problem, but he overcame it. If anything, that's
which Biden actually said, didn't he, during the debate? Yes. You know, he came out and said it. He had a drug problem. He's worked hard. He's got over it, and I'm proud of him.
Yeah, that's awesome. You know, it's just like, okay, you know. And then his other son was a veteran, you know, and I was like, well, your other one was a drug. I was like, you want us to talk about your kids?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh my God. Dumb and
Let's
dumb.
get out of that rabbit hole, shall we? Ivanka's going to go down as well.
Yes,
there's a joke somewhere there.
And Jared Kushner, I saw that there were pictures of him going around when he was younger and how he looks now. Oh my God.
Oh, he's had a lot of work done.
Well, I mean, not even, it doesn't look like he's had a lot of work. It looks like he's just been sucked up by the evil. He has been beaten by the evil stick. Because after a while, when you just are a miserable human, it just comes through in your face. Yeah. You know, because he used to smile and I was like, oh, he looks like a cute kid. And then now he's just like, I'm ready for the gas chambers. And it's just like, he looks like a freaking Nazi. He's got the stoic look, like he doesn't, and I'm just going, my God, he's been beaten with the evil stick.
I like that phrase. I'm going to use that. He's been beaten with the evil stick.
Yeah, but I think he liked it.
Yeah.
That makes it worse.
He wants more. He wants more evil stick.
Spank me with the evil stick, Daddy Trump. Oh,
I'm totally recording this. That's another one for my collection.
Don't be like Tatted Atheist. He got me once when I was when they talk about Shani for Christ. And they were trying to talk about, you know, how is it that she could have sex? Because apparently Rev thought she was cheating on him. And she's a very big lady. And I thought, you know, some people are into that. There's so many places to put a penis because of all the folds. And so he, of course, records. There's so many places to put a penis. And so now he has that on his soundboard, I think, for the salt mine. He's like, thank you so much, Phil. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, babe.
You know, when you said it for the second time, that was actually really clear and loud. Thank you.
It's already on the internet. What am I going to do about it?
I don't have the internet. I think it's for sad people.
Has Tony put out his video yet?
Has who?
Tony, Titan Uranus.
No, tighten yours. I don't know if he's put out a video.
I kind of like it how this was supposed to be a discussion about last night's debate, and this is the second occasion that we've veered into Anna's territory.
Yeah. That's,
I think that says a lot about us.
Yeah.
Butt chugging.
I think we are pitching at about the level of Trump in that debate.
Yeah. All we need now is for Dave to yet again shout "boofing."
Oh,
That's
Lord.
gonna sound really good.
Are we going to watch the other debates or what?
I'm not convinced I'm going to stay up to watch them.
Well, the next one is not next week, but the week after, I believe.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 weeks to, do
Recover.
whatever. Yeah, I don't know what you do in 2 weeks. I guess the same as we've been doing for the past 8 months. I don't know. I think I'll take a crochet
You guys
or
want to do a
something.
game show on Friday? I don't know if you're interested in doing that.
I was going to. Do you want to come do mine as well?
I could come to yours. I have to write the games for the thing. I don't know. What did you? I'm getting feedback on what I need to do. So if y'all want to do the game show, I can do that.
I find the game show to be quite entertaining. I enjoy it. But let's be honest, you are pretty shit at it now. You've got to get... Seriously, it winds me up.
She's getting better with each one. The first one, she deafened us every 3 minutes.
Yes, that's true. I got better.
I need you to make... Scientism Mel, I need you to make it bigger for my eyes.
I can't make it bigger. You can turn off the tidy if you want.
I'm just totally getting you to save things that I can use later.
I'm not sure if I can stomach another one of those.
The next one,
Okay, can someone
according
explain
Chris,
to me? Shut. I need Mel's advice. I believe the next one is different. As in,
yeah,
is the next one a town hall or something? And what the hell is a town hall?
I don't know if
don't
it's a
get me
town
started
hall.
on that one.
If it is a town hall, all that means is audience people ask him questions.
Firstly, I'm now officially wound up because a town hall is a fucking building with a dome thing on the top.
Okay, it's Back to the Future, right? It's Back to the Future, and they have the clock tower on the town hall, and then we got to try to save the clock tower. But
do they talk to each other? Do they talk to each other in a town hall?
The audience, the people in the audience.
So it's like we had with the debates with the individual leaders, basically, where they both get asked questions, but they don't talk to each other at all.
Yeah, I don't think so. And so the audience members will ask questions of the different candidates, and they'll answer those questions.
So that could be good if they could shut Trump up.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I know.
The next one doesn't have Trump in it. The next one has...
It's the vice presidents, I believe.
Yeah, it's the vice president.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Pence. Oh my God, no. Oh, that's going to be hilarious.
That's going to be great. Pence calls his wife mother and is not allowed to be alone in a room with another woman. So this is going to be fun.
Kamala she's gonna trounce him, isn't she?
She made Brett Kavanaugh cry in Congress. I can't wait. I can't wait.
You know what? I'd forgotten about this. Pence. This is going to be so hilarious. We must find out when this one is on because Pence talking to a woman?
No.
Wow.
Can he be aggressive? Can he be mean to her?
I don't think he knows how. He will have to stand there and go, what would mother say?
Mhm.
What would mother do?
Pence always reminds me of that joke about the Queen. when you
Which
talk about
joke?
brother. Well, you're not allowed to turn your back on the Queen
Oh, okay.
under any
Yeah.
circumstances. And the joke is, well, I don't know why. She's not likely to nick anything.
Oh my goodness. The Queen
I-
is
I don't
funny.
trust her, to be honest. I think she's a bit of a sneaky bugger. like the Queen Mother. I mean, whoa, she was bad. Anyway, back on topic. Talking about Pence, I must write this date down because I definitely want to see him going against Kamala. Do we say Kamala or Kamala? I forget.
It's
Kamala.
Kamala.
Say Harris.
I'll say
Kamala.
Harris. I want to see this because he will be absolutely shitting himself because he's scared of the women, he's scared of the gays. He's such a pathetic little weasel.
On another note, did anyone see what's his face come out?
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, one of the little Trumps.
Yes,
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
he said that he was a member of the LGBT community.
Who is?
That Eric, is it? I can't remember which one it
Eric
was.
Trump.
Yeah, Eric, the dumb
Trump
one.
is gay?
That's what was certainly implied by what he said.
Oh my god. No, okay. He's
I don't believe it, but
I
that's
don't either.
that's what he said.
No, he said he tried to use words, and that's never a good thing for a Trump. And I think he was being interviewed on Fox News, and he said something like, I'm paraphrasing. He said something like, "I like the LGBT community. They speak up. They're very loud, and I'm a member of that community." And so
Well,
Twitter is
support my
going.
father.
Twitter is saying, "Hang on a minute. We know you're dumb, but seriously, have you just outed yourself on Fox News?"
Eric Trump, he always looks like he has no lips and he's practicing smiling. Like every time he takes a picture, he's like his lips disappear and he's nothing but teeth. He's like, and it's none of them can stand properly.
God, they cannot stand up. I mean, how can you have a president and his family who've not learned the basic art of standing up? I mean, that's not normal.
This is smiling.
I've got the tweet here. Well, actually, it's a tweet from Bobby Lewis, and he's quoting Eric Trump. The LGBT community, they are incredible. And you should see how they come out in full force for my father every single day.
So did they come out?
Of that community, and
Did they come out in full force?
I am part of that community. Fantastic.
It's nice to know that they come out in full force, though.
Yeah. So he seems to be saying he's part of the LGBTQ plus community. That's what he seems to be saying anyway.
Does Mike Pence know about this?
He might hit that. I think Mike is closeted.
I think we all know this. He's definitely hiding something.
In his bum.
Boofing!
Say that again, Mel.
Well, he's going to have to remove it in order to get through the freaking debates. Because he's so stiff.
Well, there we go.
He's walking around.
I'm just enjoying this so much. I am going to get myself a little soundboard, and I'm just going to hold you hostage, Scientism Mel. Every time you annoy me with your silly attempts at a British accent, I'm just going to play things where you talk
I
about
love it when I do
putting
my British
things
accent.
up bottoms.
I like your British accent.
I do all right.
Yeah.
Just
Can I
once I
stop?
start throwing out full Southern, that's going to be really bad. Oh,
I was just going to say, I've been using this Florida accent now for 15 minutes, so can I stop now, y'all?
Assuming that you're not
It don't work. that way.
Assuming you're not from the state you're in now, what state are you from? Or are you?
What if I'm in the state? What?
No, assuming I know you don't give out your state, but assuming you're not from that state originally, where are you from originally?
No, I'm from the state originally.
You're from that state. Okay.
I have lived in Arkansas. I have lived in Las Vegas. I've traveled lots of places, but yeah, I'm from the state that I live in right now.
Did you watch? I've got to keep this on the subject of Mike Pence, if you don't mind. I think it's relevant because we're trying to talk about the debates here.
I'm just going to say this. Every time you say Pence, Stool, every time you say Pence, it sounds like you're saying pants.
Well, Mike Pence, that works. That reminds me of earlier. What you said earlier. I'd forgotten about that. Was it you? I think it was you, Scientism, Mel. David Icke.
What?
Was that you? David Icke?
Oh,
no.
Yeah, David Icke.
Oh, yeah, you had to be there. But the thing is with Pence, if you watched, the convention thing, that crazy shit show that happened a few weeks ago, where the Republican people were making speeches to an empty room because of COVID.
Oh yeah, with this. Yeah.
And I'm going to digress slightly, but do you remember the crazy lady who's the girlfriend of Don Jr.?
Yes, I retweeted a video of her going, "The bastard had to come," and there's like
seriously,
this prairie dog. It was hilarious.
Everybody these days has a memory like a sieve. If you've forgotten about that, go and watch it and be very scared, because that was terrifying shit. It really was. But back on subject, Mike Pence, when he did his thing for that convention, whatever you call it, and he stood there delivering this speech, and the guy is so obviously full of bullshit.
Yeah.
Watch his head when he speaks. Watch his facial expressions. He's a fucking lying con artist. He really is.
I thought you were going to say something else then.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say see you next Tuesday.
Right. I never said that word.
Mike, Mel, your mic's gone nuts again. There's a noise, and it went dead loud. Dead quiet.
I don't know.
Yeah, people call me crazy when I mentioned this earlier, but I can definitely hear it.
Yeah,
there's definitely something happening.
I don't know. I can play with the game.
You've got something is interfering with your mic.
I mean, given that you've not touched it, I've got to assume it's not the mic itself.
I don't know. I just muted the mic, and then.
Yeah, you're picking up some. I'm going to get clever now and do some scientism. You're picking up some kind of radio interference somehow, and I can hear it.
It's the mind control in the South. It's almost 5 p.m. It might stop then, because then it's time for them to go home.
So I've been vilified. I'm not actually crazy. Other people can hear this.
No. You are crazy. That's just got nothing to do with this.
Okay. You're the guy who just randomly shouted "boofing," so whatever.
I would love it if we didn't have this pandemic, if one of y'all just was like walking down the street, recording you walking down the street, going like passing by a pub, and then jump in front of people and go "boofing," and then just keep going.
I'd totally do that.
I'd do that.
I'd do that. Yeah.
Would you end up with in the police station though?
When you hit 10K, Mel, that's what we'll do. We'll get everyone on. We'll get all the different YouTubers to film themselves shout, screaming, boofing.
Here we go. It always comes down to YouTube numbers with Dave. Yeah, we
I
get
don't
it.
know that I ever will. I don't do the algorithm like I should. I don't.
You
do stuff
fell off your ball and you got some subs. Shut up about it.
It sounded like you're saying something about sudsing up your balls. I don't know. What did you say?
Anyway,
I'm totally having that one.
If I can get us back on topic.
Oh, dear. We're in trouble.
the one last thing I want to say about the debate before we go off air. Frankly, if you are still going to vote for Trump after watching that debate, it's time to admit that you're part of a cult.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can admit they're part of a cult's the problem. When I got into a conversation today with two pastors and a crazy person, and the two pastors were good. They were obviously going to vote for Trump, right? But they were genuinely troubled by him.
Yeah.
They struggled with the fact that they're going to vote for him because of the person he is showing himself to be. The problem is he is still fulfilling all their religious aims.
Yeah, that's the scary thing, and I think this is important about this debate discussion. And I'm really glad that you reminded me about the Pence thing, because I predict that will scare the shit out of you. Because in many ways I'll rephrase that. He's not worse than Trump, but in his own special way, Pence is. His head is not correct.
I think he's more dangerous than Trump in a lot of respects. I think if he had power,
people using conversion therapy, all of that.
In many ways, yeah, he is. No, he's dangerous in his own way. He's a different kind of dangerous. You do not want him as president because he will do very, very bad things. However, I don't think he's gonna destroy the world, whereas Trump will fucking destroy the world.
No, I'm not. The problem is, I don't think Trump is calculating enough to destroy the world. I think Pence is.
Trump is not clever enough to knowingly and wantedly destroy the world, but he's such a fucking imbecile that he'll do it by accident.
But I hope at least in the American government there are enough people between him and things he can do to destroy the world.
Yeah.
To
Well, that's actually quite true, because if you remember the story where Trump decided one morning that he wanted to invade, I forget the country, but he wanted to invade. He wanted to kill a president in another country. I cannot remember the country. And he was adamant that the American secret people should go and assassinate another country's leader. Totally adamant about it. And the two grown-ups in the room, like the military people, said, yeah, okay. They walked out of the room and said, we are not fucking doing that. Mm-hmm. And the next day, Trump had completely forgotten about what he'd said. That's how fucking short his attention span is.
Yeah.
So there are grown-ups there.
Yeah. But the problem is he's progressively stacking them. That's the other thing about not surviving another 4 years of Trump. He is progressively getting rid of incompetent people.
Yeah. Which is a very similar sort of story to what's happening in this country. But
very much so. There. Completely agree.
Mm.
Anyway, we're coming up to an hour, so we're going to leave things there. Thank you to everyone who has joined us, and thank you to everyone who has joined us in the chat. And if you're watching later on, then do leave a comment. Comment what your thoughts on the debates have been, and also comment if you would like us to chat about the other debates. Let us know in the comments as well.
Yeah, because there's nothing better than listening to three British people talk about American politics.
I don't exist.
Come back for more. Can't hear you. Unless you're talking about anuses, I've had you muted I just don't listen to you.
Well, your anus is similar tissue to your mouth, so it fits for you still.
Okay, then. And on that bombshell.
Did you just say bombshell?
Yes. We'll say good night. And
Right.
Hey,
watch this
Night.
space for more.
did
good
everybody
things.
hear? Mike just did a funny. Did you hear that? I've got to come back again. This is awesome.